Welcome back to Sindy Wall of Sound, part 2. Rob.
We think we've solved this to some degree. The radio is controlled by the record player.
So when you say the record player, what do you have to do to it?
You kind of move the arm across, and I think that turns it on or off. The ticking is the clock.
Yeah. Sounds about right, actually, doesn't it?
It does. Okay. The crackling is the fireplace. We haven't managed to get the telephone to do anything yet, but the cat, I think... So the cat is here. Yeah. Okay. And when you pop that, and I've cleaned up the connections underneath. There you go. There's the cat noise.
It does sound a bit like a fly.
I think it does. I think it does work when it wants to. It's kind of on a timer. I would imagine the telephone is the same.
So does that just ring then? Do you think randomly? So if you hold your finger on it, does it then go?
Just hold it there for a bit. There is a little microchip in there.
Yeah. So maybe after a certain time that rings, and then you have to pick it up. It's clever, isn't it? It's quite sophisticated.
It is quite sophisticated, considering this is a 1980s.
Do you think 70s or 80s?
This is 80. I would say it's 80s. You know, this is a kid's toy. It's actually got, you know.
There's a lot going on here, isn't there?
There is a lot going on.
Well, we got it to do something, haven't we?
We have got it to do something.
And the radio came on.
And the radio come on. So I think it's sort of halfway there. There's still a few bits I think we need to do.
So if you leave that on there, Rob, give that a clean up with some contact cleaner, and then we'll leave that and then see if it rings.
Where is it? Is that it? No, that one there, isn't it?
I'm going to put that back in there, see if that... Because that actually changed the noise of the fireplace, putting that in there.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Maybe so it stokes the fire or something. Or it just sounds like a really old record.
It does. Or it sounds broken.
Yeah. Yeah, is it meant to do that? Not really.
Well, obviously there's a switch missing, so we need to come up with something in there.
It's not doing anything now.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you're supposed to turn it off, but the phone is on the hook.
So if we swing that over...
That's the radio.
The radio overrides everything.
Radio, yeah, according to what says on the back of the battery thing, radio overrides everything.
And then as soon as you turn the tone arm off...
Clock
starts.
That's the cat.
Are we just waiting for that phone to ring?
We are. Like watching paint dry, isn't it?
Yeah. Waiting for a girl to phone you back in the day. Will she phone me? No.
It never does. Oh! And the phone works. As if like almost on cue.
Yeah, we can't fix that because that goes off random.
It does go off randomly, so pick it up. I've been missold PPI. So pop that back. Now that's quite interesting because the way that works is there's a charge builds up in the capacitor. Is that right?
Yeah, there's some kind of loop on there.
Yeah, so as it builds up, it then eventually...
There's a trigger.
Does a trigger, which sends a signal to the phone and makes it ring.
Yeah. I don't know if these came with it at the time. We've got the vacuum cleaner, which is connected with this little plug here.
See, that's just on string. Oh, that was the cat.
That was the cat. We've upset the cat.
That's just on a bit of string. That's not wire, is it? That's just...
And this is just a prop. There's nothing in that. But it does have some detail there on the plug. And it's quite clever. Now, I did... since we spoke last time, all I've done is clean up this socket here. This socket you can actually... This 3-pin socket, which is made to look like a UK 3-pin socket. I mean, this is a Sindy house, you see, not a Barbie.
So this is a UK...
UK thing. This was the rival.
So it's not all about America.
No, exactly. So rather than 2-pin 110, they've gone for the traditional 3-pin. But when we plug this in, something happens. Do you want to demonstrate it? Or
you can do it.
I'll demonstrate it. Here we go. So when you plug him in there, no. So we get the sound of a Hoover vacuum cleaner.
How does that work then? Because it's just a piece of string.
Yeah, there's no accelerometer in there.
So it must be something in the plug that creates a loop.
So I think some applications where we've got so these are the plugs that came with it. So you've got this lamp, which is missing its shade, but the owner reliably informs me they've got the shade.
Right.
This takes its feed with along a wire into the bulb. But the Hoover hasn't got a little Hoover motor in it, it's just got the string. But two of these pins are looped out to tell the processor that it's the Hoover connected and not the light. Yeah,
and that's what triggers the...
Again, that's sophisticated, isn't it?
For its time, this is very sophisticated.
I don't know, and maybe people could get in touch to tell us if there are other accessories that you could plug into this.
Yeah, I'm not really up on Sindy.
You do not have lots of Sindy.
Well, my sister had lots of Sindy. In fact, as we may have already said, my parents have still got her Sindy house.
Yeah.
So I think it would be great, actually, if we can put this
in its natural
and some of the other items that we've already shown in the Sindy house. I think the only thing that is missing is a Sindy.
Right.
So
I haven't got too many of them. Maybe my sister has somewhere. Not sure. Yeah.
But because when I was a kid, I used it as Autobot HQ, and I do have Optimus Prime, so we could put him in there instead.
I was going to say Optimus Prime. It'd go perfect with the kitchen, wouldn't it?
Stick a wig on, be fine. I'm sure he'd be happy with that.
Now this is a little bit dim. This is the.
I know how it feels.
It's a dim light, but that is actually on. It's not quite glowing up on camera. Now maybe the bulb isn't the right bulb in there, but that is working at least. I might put a different bulb in there just to increase the brightness.
Yeah, I mean maybe it doesn't go massively bright because you don't want it sort of. No. Do you? You know.
How did that go? Yeah, just checking.
You don't want it like like the sun. Oh my God, burning my eyes. So it might just be a sort of
might just be the way it is.
Gentle glow.
Yeah, and I guess if they didn't want it too bright, otherwise it'd just be burning bulbs out all the time. Yeah. Exactly that. The other thing I've done, Rob, is I've cleaned the contacts up on here.
Okay.
Because I worked out, put the cat on there.
See, this is just a plastic cat, isn't it? Oh.
But it's meant to, when you stroke the cat, it's meant to purr. See, when you first put him on, he meows.
Yeah.
And then the purring will run over the fireplace. And then it's just enough. There wasn't quite enough tension on there before. So I cleaned the contacts up and just gave it a little bit more tension. And now when you just touch the cat's head,
it purrs.
It purrs. It's cool.
It's a pretty cool toy, isn't it?
Yeah. I can imagine there were a lot of kids that this was on their birthday list.
Do you know what? I had a quick look up online. There's a dedicated Sindy Museum website, and this was the equivalent of £80.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, isn't it?
You know, back in 1980, 80 quid was a lot of dosh.
And I still think that it's not just it's just a plastic toy at the end of the day, but there's a lot of sophisticated, adult-like, grown-up features on it, like a ringing phone, the fireplace. There were toys from a different time, weren't they?
They were.
I mean, the toys. I mean, my kids have got dolls. They've got a doll's house, that kind of stuff, but they're far less sophisticated, if I can say, than this. Yeah, this is working things that emulate adult stuff. You know, things you see around the house. I mean, most houses don't have music centres anymore. Yes, everything's kind of shrunk over time, hasn't it? But at the time, in the 80s, people did have those things. And there we are, the mini music centre. There is a working fireplace. There is a phone that rings. These are all things that existed in people's houses back in the day. Pretty interesting to see what a modern one of these look like. But I don't think anyone's making any.
No, I don't think they are. I think in a bizarre way, even though, like you say, it's got the record player and whatever, in a bizarre way, it's ahead of its time.
Yeah, it is ahead of its time. And you could sort of see where the manufacturers were basically trying to appeal to children in a different way to kind of emulate the parents, the people they sort of went to visit, that kind of thing. Whereas I think toys now are getting deeper and meaningful, a bit more escapism, a bit more sort of non-real life.
Yeah.
And actually, these might be sort of... It was a different way of thinking.
It was a different way of thinking.
Yeah, totally different way of thinking.
Everything works other than the speaker. We do have a replacement speaker now, don't we?
We do.
Because obviously this is just a temporary thing.
Would you like the speaker?
I'll have the speaker. So I think what we need to do then is...
We've been online shopping.
Take the speaker out and replace it with this. I mean, look at the difference, look. Sort of the modern...
Yeah, I tried to find one with a larger magnet, but finding a 57mm speaker...
Yeah, those don't do them anymore, do
no,
they?
it's you can get a bigger one, you can get a smaller one, but 57, I mean, these would have been tweeters, I suppose, back in the day, and sort of cheap speakers, but it's only a shallow thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but it'll do the job, won't it?
I wanted that to fit in this recess here, and that's the critical thing.
Okay, so I think what we need to do then is swap out the speakers, plug it in, make sure it all works, and if it does, give it a clean up, put it back together.
Job done.
Okay, so we've put in the new speaker.
Yes.
It's a bit of a dog's dinner.
An abomination. Letters of complaint to him, please, not me.
It wasn't me.
It was me.
Well, the problem we had was these little clips, very fragile, and two of them did bust as we were taking them out.
I'll admit that.
Yes. Although it didn't take much for them to break, to be fair.
No.
So a little bit of hot glue, put around the speaker.
Yeah.
It's been soldered back on. So now it's just a question of turning on the
Beautiful
power.
soldering, I might, if I do.
The soldering's all right.
Do you say so myself?
So you kind of redeemed yourself with the soldering. It's just the hot glue that looks shit.
The thing is, they were going for belt and braces, so it's worth mentioning the fact that you had to cut the glue off that. Which, I mean, it would have stayed in there without the clips.
It would. So, yeah, because obviously we didn't film this part, but it's like you take the metal clips off, and it was just stuck in there with this old hot glue.
So it wasn't going anywhere.
It wasn't. It was obviously, you know, it's a redundancy which you just don't see these days in toys, do you?
It was designed to be sort of pushed around a bit, and actually they were worried probably about the speaker making a load of vibration, so they thought clips and glue for us.
Yes, and it worked. Right, talking of works, do you want to fire it up and see if the speaker does actually...
Don't say the word fire, please.
Okay.
Throw the switch.
Throw the switch.
Oh.
And we have a ticking clock.
Got a tick.
So, speaker's been fixed.
Yep.
Everything we assume works. So shall we try the cat again?
Try the pussycat.
Oops.
Make the cat purr. There's the fly cat. Should we try the radio?
Oh yes, the radio, yep.
It's picking things up.
It is picking things up. So that's good. That all works.
Turn that off.
Back to the ticking clock.
Back to the ticking clock. So the phone...
sorry, pussycat. I'm just going to move the pussycat.
Not the cat off. We'll have to get a battery for this because it's not that convenient about having that on there. So let's leave that on the hook.
Phone's on the hook.
Do you know, that's an old expression, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Do you think many teenagers would know what leaving a phone on and off the hook meant?
They wouldn't have a clue.
Wouldn't have a clue, would they? So we got a full house, haven't we?
We have got a full house. It all works.
I'm not aware, and now this is something that we're not going to see too much of in the workshop, but we have the instructions.
The destructions.
The instructions. Now, it's not. So we can see the battery, the going in, the controls to the radio, the phone, which is random. So we put the phone on the hook. It could go off any time, but it might not. There's the cat, happy cat. There's the fire poker, which we haven't got. We're using a screwdriver. The clock is on the other side.
Yes, that's the on and off switch.
That's the on and off switch. Yeah. That's on the mantelpiece on the other side of that. We've tested the vacuum cleaner. There's the lamp in the plug. There's the turntable. So
it's all there, isn't it? What's quite cool though is you actually use the fire canopy to hide the speaker.
Yeah.
And I imagine it would also kind of maybe slightly amplify a little bit.
Yeah, it's got like a sort of a flutiness to it, like a flute, like a trumpet type shape to it, hasn't it? So maybe that would, but it is pointing down at the fire, but it would give maybe a nice echo.
Yeah. It all works.
It all works. It's time
so we need to put it back together.
Get it back together again.
If we can remember how.
There are a few pieces off camera here, aren't there? So we need to kind of do a little quick assembly and then show it all complete, I think.
Yes. So we're going to do that.
Let's do that.
It's working.
We have success.
We have success, and the fire is slowly burning away there, which is lovely.
We've got a full house. We managed to put it back together again.
Yes.
Without breaking too much.
A little bit of a faff.
Yeah. There was a few clenching moments there.
Yeah, certain bits have to be put back in certain way. Yeah, certain order.
If only we'd made more notes taking it apart.
If only. Oh.
Almost on cue.
Do you want to get that?
Don't mind if I do. No, I'm not interested. Thank you very much.
Is that somebody selling you windows?
Yeah, I won the lottery in Uganda. Anyway, so it's back together again, isn't it? And I think the owner's going to be really happy with this one. I'm pleased we've got a full set of working accessories as well.
Yes, yeah.
And once we've got the fire poker back in there, it'll be as new.
Yes, so I think the next thing to do is pop it in the Sindy house and see what it looks like, and along with the other stuff.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Nostalgia Nerds, and we have fixed the Wall of Sound.
Wall of Sound.
Which is now in this lovely 1980s Sindy house, which we've lovingly decorated.
You've lovingly decorated.
Yes, I had much fun. I think this is what they call a breakdown, isn't it?
Yeah. But the Wall of Sound's in its native home now, isn't it?
It is.
Literally in its native environment.
Yeah, this is where it should be. Yeah. I mean, you know, the detail in the stuff in here though is just amazing, isn't it? You know, you've got like the knives and forks in the a la carte little thing. I mean, that's very 80s, isn't it? The a la carte.
This is a hostess trolley.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very much of its time anyway. But they've even got the right colour, the right smoked glass on there.
I know.
To match what it would have been. And I don't know if this is going to be viewable, but there's a kitchen in the background which will light up. There's a fridge. You don't normally put your kitchen and bathroom next to each other.
No, there would have been a dividing wall there originally, but if we just open the fridge there,
there's actually food in there.
Yeah,
which
you've got the eggs on the top.
Eggs on the top.
Milk at the bottom.
A nice bottle of wine in there as well.
Obviously, when we were doing this, there were a couple of parts missing.
Yes.
Now we know the speakers are missing, but the owner has got the speakers. The lampshade is missing from the lamp,
but the owner has got the lamp.
The owner's got the lampshade. But one other thing that was missing, which we don't think she had, was the poker to do the fire. Now, using some reference images off the internet and modern technology, we've managed to 3D print, or I've managed to 3D print one, which hopefully will work. So Matt's going to turn it on.
There we go. So we switch the clock on.
Yep, so you can hear the clock ticking. Now, theoretically, when I insert this in the hole...
I'm standing well out of the way.
It should, and it does.
Look at that. Straight away, the fire comes on. You can hear it crackling away. There we go. That's awesome, isn't it?
And it works. That's amazing. So I'm happy with that.
I'm going to stroke the cat.
Yeah.
It sounds like a little fly. So, and also we can plug the Hoover in.
Yeah, we'll plug the Hoover in. There we go, there's the Hoover.
So that works. That's enough of that though, that's quite loud. And then you can also plug this standard light in.
Yeah, so the little light now works as well. So that's good, that's a success then, isn't it? It all works.
You've got the radio as well.
Yes, yeah, do you want to
operate them? Operate the radio?
How do you do that? I can't remember now. Oh, that's right, you do the thing, don't you, on the record?
Straight over to the middle.
Field 1 in League 1.
There you go.
How cool is that?
Only picks up Radio 5 Live or Radio Talk Sport, whatever it is, but it works.
I'll turn that off for a minute.
Okay, one thing that is missing, obviously, from being this is what actually my sister's old Sindy house that I dragged out.
So you say.
Out of the loft. Out my parents' loft. We don't have a Sindy doll.
We don't have a Sindy.
We have a wardrobe with clothes in and all this sort of stuff here.
It's an abandoned ship,
there's no Sindy doll. But when I was a kid, I used to commandeer this and use it as my Autobot HQ. So we do have...
We can relive that memory right now.
We can, because there's Optimus Prime there.
He's almost the same scale, isn't he?
He is, isn't he?
He just needs to be, he's there, isn't he? So we
just put the old fire on there and...
We'll maybe give him a
Hoover.
Hoover to play with there. I don't want to knock him over.
No, but there we go.
The Hoover is just as big as Optimus Prime, so...
It is, but...
endless hours of fun here.
So, another successful repair there.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Well done, Rob.
Well done you. So yeah, it was a combined effort on that one. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please subscribe and like. And if you've got any comments you'd like to make, then please do so. Or if you know of anything you'd like us to look at or fix, then please get in touch.
Join us again next time.
We hope you enjoyed the video.
Thanks for watching.